What is this?
This game could actually be better than Portal. Entropy, lack of order or predictability, and gradual decline into disorder, is the perfect definition of the game. But before we get into why, here's some backstory. The Entropy Center is a puzzle game created by Stubby Games, and no, this company isn't a AAA studio with hundreds of devs. Nope, just one. A new legend, Daniel Stubbington. This man, I don't think, gets the love that he deserves. And when looking this up, I'm still really amazed that it was made by one guy. While scrolling through Steam, I found a game that looked very similar to Portal. I went, boo, another Portal copy, but no. This game was on sale and had very good reviews, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and honestly, wow. This game is the next generation Portal game with a nice backstory and gameplay that actually destroyed my mind a few times. Knowing now how good the game is and how much work a solo dev put into this, I'd actually pay full price for this game, and I'm actually glad to see another indie game because you can always tell when they're made with love and patience. The Entropy Center is a linear, short story driven puzzle game. You wake up and find yourself in a place that you don't remember, a space station. And when you find your talking gun, yes, a talking gun, it's also the Entropy gun, and her name's Astra, your companion for this game. This gun's ability is that it can actually rewind objects in time, and you actually really have to grasp the idea of time in this game. You make your way through the space station and complete puzzle rooms with cubes and deadly robots. Why? Well, to generate entropy, of course. Now wait, this does sound almost exactly like Portal. And yeah, that's true, but this is what Portal players have actually been waiting for. And remember, Portal itself wasn't entirely Valve's idea. The freeware game Nubacular Drop basically had Portal assets and story slapped on it, but we don't judge it for that. And since knowing Valve will probably come out Portal 3 when your grandkids are having grandkids, this is what we need in the meantime. There are enough differences in this game that give it its own feeling. Let's start with the testing rooms themselves. Enter a room, solve a puzzle, leave the room. Easy, right? Well, you have to utilize time. This adds a level of complexity that Portal doesn't have. When you shoot blocks, it'll actually rewind the path it traveled. Now, whether you carried it, threw it, or launched it, it'll go down its path. And each time you rewind it, it'll then forget that original path it traveled on. For example, let's say you need a block 20 feet above you. You can launch the block, pause midair, and then grab it, set up for where you need to, and then when you need it launched up, rewind it back to right before when you grabbed it, and it'll keep its momentum. Kind of confusing at first, but you'll get it, and that's the great part, honestly. There are 5 types of objects you'll begin with: regular cubes, laser cubes, jump blocks, laser floor blocks, and collapse boxes. While I do wish that there was new blocks to solve the puzzle, I'm able to look past it, and mainly because it's made by a solo dev. However, one of the best mechanics of the game are the converters, which change any of the blocks you have to that type as you pass through it based off of a color indicator. As you reverse through it with time, it'll also reverse the block to its previous state. This is when the game begins to separate and grow more than just a Portal-like game into its own. On the bright side, most levels are well made. There are a few levels within that kind of destroyed my mind, while on the other hand, there's some that I kind of solved in a few tries. But as a puzzle game, that's kind of the course. Each person struggles at different parts of the game, and at first, I struggled a bit just to kind of grasp the concept. I don't normally play puzzle games, but it's something I found helpful to actually play backwards. And when you hop into the game, it'll make sense, don't worry. Just as fun as the gameplay was the story. As you progress through the story, you'll find out why the space station is empty, and I really recommend checking out every computer that you can. PCs give the majority of the background story, and no, this isn't a bad thing. The computers are actually entertaining, and they don't take you out of the experience, and I think they're nicely spaced apart throughout the entire game. You'll notice the details of the worlds as you walk past them, and it'll make the gameplay experience even better. After fully completing the game, I can say that the story was alright, even predictable at some points. But as you get about halfway through the game, it becomes really good, and I think the proper spacing throughout the story is fairly good. But the best part is presentation. The game doesn't have a narrator explaining and telling you what happened at the space station. It's up to you as a player to kind of soak in the information and fully understand what's going on, and that's the best part. But let's not forget about Astra, your only companion, which provides a nice break in between puzzles with jokes and good vibes, and she's also your UI, a screen indicating the rewind time. You don't need anything else. Don't tell the Assassin's Creed devs, but the UI is perfect. There's basically none, and it feels natural in this type of game. A more recent update to the game also added the ability for players to create their own custom maps and put them in the game. and kind of share them within the game itself. Now let's rate this short story linear puzzle game. I'll be using 3 categories: level world design, story, and experience. Level world design, 7 out of 10. The areas and environment in between puzzles are nicely designed, and its progression as you learn about the world and how it functions is nicely shown and displayed. Its pacing is nice, and even better, the puzzle chambers themselves, the difficulty increases at a nice rate, and each time a new cube is introduced, it does a good job in explaining on how to use it. There are some weird difficulty jumps in about 2 or 3 levels, but the issue is probably between the keyboard and chair. The story is 7 out of 10. A linear short story game, it's good. It can be predictable, but it really makes up for that in the end. As you play, the way everything sinks in and the realizations that you get is something I actually haven't experienced in a while playing a game. Experience, 8 out of 10. While taking roots from the past, namely the Portal series, the Entropy Center offers a unique puzzling experience for gamers at any skill level to experience and have fun. The amount of content and interesting puzzles, plus the addition of community-made content, really makes the game feel complete in an age of rushed-out games. And I can actually see myself coming back to this game in the future to clear the campaign again, while also taking a look at the community content. For a total score of 7.3 out of 10, this is well worth getting, and even playing if it's not on sale. Thanks for watching, everybody. What do you guys think? Would you play this game? Let me know down in the comments below, and have a good one. Oh, and we can't forget about E, cute little bugger saving my life and blowing stuff up.